Good morning. Hi, I'm Gail Anderson. Hey, how you doing, Lisa? Good to have everybody here this morning. I am starting kind of a series right now on the top 10 things I would do again as a mom. So hopefully you're going to be able to join us for those. Sorry, we'll get this light out of here. Perfect. Okay. Yesterday I gave kind of an intro, and I haven't been able to put that up on YouTube yet. I think I may need to do a little bit of editing before I do that. It needs to be smaller. I couldn't put it right up, but I will get that up there, so you'll be able to go through the intro part. But today what I'm talking about is number one of the top 10 things I would do again as a mom, and that is to be present for my children. Now that's really a cliche, I know, but it is extremely, extremely valuable to do that. Yes, thank you. Hi Cassie, nice to have you joining us today. You know, don't underestimate the power of being all there with your kids. We have choices all day long. We have things pulling on us all the time. I mean, if it's not the house, it's the telephone, it's your husband, it's things that have to be done, it's errand running. All kinds of things call for our time. So we have to make good choices as a mom. Hi all of you, good to have you here. I'm Gail Anderson. This is Mentoring Moments for Moms. And if you like what I'm talking about, I would love for you to tap the screen and give me some hearts. And also, I have things in my profile which you can avail yourself to. I have my email if you want to contact me, let me know things you'd like to hear about. I've also got a link to our blog, KirbyAnderson.com. My husband and I blog 3 times a week. There's a lot of information you would probably like if you like the things I'm talking about. So let's get back to number one, being present for my children. You know, we are so good at being multitaskers, and I think that's wonderful. I mean, it's a gift that God gave us as women, that we can do a lot of things at one time. But I know for myself, that caused me to not be completely attentive to my kids. And I don't mean that you have to have your household run by your children. I don't mean that you follow every demand that they have. What I'm talking about is just when you're listening, when you're talking to them, when they're trying to tell you about things, that you really be attentive. You be all there for them. So it's a matter of sitting and thinking, what is your focus right now? Moms, do you have a hard time with this? Do you have a hard time when you're doing things and your kids come up and you've got all sorts of choices to make? Oh my gosh, not on our cell phones. Very good comment. There's just so many choices. I remember at the time when all my 5 were little that I actually sat there and thought, wow, at any moment during the day, if you asked me how many things were calling for my attention, there would be 6 to 10 items. And I mean immediate items, some even emergencies. It's hard the most at home. So many things I need to do. Boy, I call home my office. And it's very hard when you see those things that need done. I remember when I was homeschooling, I'd think of something that needed done or see something that needed done, and I would get up and go do that. So what I'm talking about today is just having a focus. It's making a choice, not just being pulled from pillar to post, not letting everything else control you, including your kids, but actually stopping and thinking and making a decision. And that's a little bit different than most people are used to. You know, our kids can tell if we're paying attention. Embarrassingly enough, they can tell. And even if you're looking at them and doing something else, they can tell if your mind is somewhere else. So it's important just to show them that you care. Remember, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So these are the things that we can really think about. Time with our kids is very limited. It seems like we have a long time, but we'll spin around 3 times and they'll be going off to college and it'll all be over. So it's really cool to be able to sit there and say, hey, I made the right choices when my kids were home. I actually took time to pay attention to them, to be attentive to their needs, and to be interested in the things that they're interested in. Now, just because we don't like Legos or their latest creation with Play-Doh is no big deal, that doesn't matter. We need to show we are interested in them by being interested in the things, thank you, interested in the things that other people are interested in, like your kids. Okay, so let me see here on my notes. Where am I at? If you're busy doing something else, no problem. Your kids can understand that, but you just tell them, hey, in 2 minutes, I can come help you. Okay, as soon as mommy gets this in the oven. Very interesting this morning. Okay, so just let them know a time when you specifically will be able to give them the attention they're asking for. It still shows them they're important. And then again, moms, you have to follow through. If you say you're going to come over and help them or look at their creation as soon as you get this in the oven, then that's something that you need to follow through with. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got to limit our time doing other things because the time with our kids is limited. And we all love doing things to relax. We all love getting out and away. That's wonderful. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that stuff. Having hobbies is great, but during the time your kids are up, maybe you don't want to spend as much time doing your hobby as you will later when they're gone to school, or when they're in bed, or when they're taking their nap. And it doesn't even mean that. You can learn to do things at the same time. One of the things that I found very helpful when my kids were young, and this was really the precursor to homeschooling, and that was to spend like an hour with my kids in the morning, which was wonderful, focusing on them, playing with their toys in their room, doing things with them. And if I sewed that time into them in the first place in the morning, then they were able to actually let me do my things without interrupting. Besides the fact that I was helping them learn how to play with their toys. That was a great hint that I found. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you know things are busy. You know you have a lot to do to keep up on just life, your household, to keep up on bills, errands, everything. But if you're a working mom, bless your heart. There are many blessings to you. You have to do all of this and work. If you are a single mom, even more blessings to you, because you've got to balance all those home things with your even more limited time with your kids. So this is why I'm saying it is important to focus, to make choices, and to make the choices that you want. This time goes so quickly. And you know, this is our real highest calling, to take care of our kids. And it's not going to be forever. Like I say, they will be gone before you know it. Hey everybody, if you like what I'm talking about, love for you to tap on the screen and give me some hearts so I see what you think of what we're talking about. Okay, one of the key phrases that helped me was to say, 10 years from now, will it really matter that I am, and fill in the blank? Ooh, I needed to think about that a lot more often. 10 years from now, will it matter to me that I was spending this time down on my hands and knees scrubbing my kitchen and dining room floor? Maybe yes, maybe no. It's just a matter of asking the question. The other question is, what is the most important thing that I should be doing right now? Because really, it might not be playing with your kids. It might be getting dinner in the oven. There are priorities. But instead of just being pulled around from every emergency, every little thing that's pulling at you, you make choices. You decide how to do this. So we want to focus on what's most important at that time in our lives. Sometimes when you ask that question, it is the children. That is the most important thing. Sometimes, is it having my house white glove clean? Probably not. Could be for you. I know sometimes I had too many priorities as far as the house. I was not a perfect housekeeper, but I wanted to keep my standards to a certain time. But these seasons with them are short. And so you flex during certain seasons. You know, if you have a brand new baby, that the focus is going to be around the baby for a while. And the other standards in the house are going to have to fall, especially so that you can have time sewing into yourself so you can be a good mom. So here's some of the things that kept me from doing what's most important. One, my house. having things organized, in order, clean, put away, and I am not a neat freak, but my husband has higher standards than me, and so I would attempt to get my standards higher. And then of course he came down on his standards some. So any of you have trouble with your house, your office being the thing that's always pulling at you and always pulling you away from your kids? Can you understand what I'm talking about? That is something that was very real for me. The other thing is the phone. Now, back when my kids were at home, we didn't have cell phones, believe it or not. A few people did, but we didn't. And the landline phone was actually the thing that when it would ring, oh my gosh, it's an emergency. It sounds like I need to answer it right now. But you know, we do not have to answer that phone every time it rings. We have voicemail. We can turn the ringer off during certain periods of time, especially if you're a homeschooling mom, or you have a baby in the house, or you have kids in the tub. Let's decide what's most important. Did you know that your phone probably has a do not disturb button? I love that. Certain times of the day, I just put that on. If I'm writing, I have it on right now. You guys are most important to me right now, hearing from you and sowing into your lives. So I don't want my phone ringing. I don't want other things distracting me. So I just go ahead and shut that stuff off. Another thing that was hard for me was my husband. And you know what? I will say here that you have to make your husband the priority. Ladies, do you have a hard time making your spouse the priority when he's home? I think because I was so focused on kids, it was easy for me to say, hey, you have to wait. The kids have greater needs because they're younger. But that's not it. I love seeing moms. Oh, you know what? It is just an issue where we've got to choose. We've got to know. We've got to not be a victim of other things taking our time. Our household, our phone, other things our mind is concentrating on, the doorbell, other people, friends. And you know, we don't have to pick up every single phone call that comes. Really, social media distractions, excellent. I'd say Facebook and Instagram and all those other things may not be what you should be doing at that particular time. So don't get yourself caught up in that. So you choose what is the priority at the moment and develop the habit, number one, of being present with your kids. Because how would that make your kids feel? Yes, they can tell that you're not completely focused on them. It does not make them feel that great. If you want to let them know you value them, that what they think is important, you think is important, more than your friend, more than Facebook, more than the phone, more than the house, you show your kids that they're more important. And yes, they can wait. You can have them wait, but they wait till a certain time. You're still positive and say, okay, I can do that with you in 15 minutes. And they can wait, they can learn, but still, you are making them an important thing in your life. So I just want to encourage you ladies to be present all the time for your kids. And the next time we talk, I'm going to tell you one other hint that helped me so that I could prioritize. So thanks for joining us today. If you want to see my past scopes, please go to my profile and the YouTube link is in there. Or you can just go to YouTube and actually search under Mentoring Moments for Moms. This is Gail Anderson. Thank you for sharing this with other people. And thanks for listening today. Hey, thank you. I sure appreciate that. Ladies, have a wonderful, wonderful day and have some fun times with your kids.